What I was going to suggest was a standard warm-up, which we have used before, which was 5 things, where each person gets to step forward, so to speak, and give a list of 5 of one particular topic that somebody else has issued. After they're done, they pick another person in the group and say a new topic for them to pick 5 things of. And it doesn't have to be anything super serious. It can just be silly stuff like favorite condiments, favorite Star Wars characters we did before, that kind of stuff. But just something that's going to be generic enough, hopefully, that the 6 people in the group here are going to be able to pull something. I mean, we picked a couple of topics the last time we did this that were a little bit more specific and not really on target. So, Becky, I will start off by giving you a suggestion, and then you can pick somebody else to continue. Becky, list off 5 of your favorite musical groups.
Okay. Bread, the Beatles, Chicago, Mr. Mister, and Goanna. I'll hand it to Jeff. Let's have 5 of your favorite things to drink.
Ooh. Okay. Water, coffee, beer, wine, scotch. Really boring. I'm going to point this off to Armand and list 5 of your favorite sports teams.
How about I just try and name 5 sports teams?
That works too.
Look, you think I'm going to know the difference?
All right.
Be honest. You think I'm going to know that you
Yeah, you got to know I'm lying if I list the Lions as the first team.
But I wouldn't know that.
Green Bay Packers, the Tigers, the Red Wings, and let's see, the LA. Oh, sports teams, doesn't matter what sport, right?
No.
The Lakers.
Okay.
Okay, Chuck, why don't you name, whether favorite or not, 5 flavors of ice cream?
Chocolate hazelnut, strawberry, raspberry vanilla, mint chocolate chip, and coffee. Dave. List your 5 favorite animals that are dangerous.
Lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Tasmanian devils and chihuahuas.
They are. They really are.
It's the little ones you got to watch for.
And I guess I just throw back to you, Scott. Your 5 favorite Star Trek starships.
All right. The movie era Enterprise.
Okay.
The Defiant from Deep Space Nine. The Klingon bird of prey that featured in the Star Trek feature films that they time traveled back to the whales and all that kind of stuff. The pregnant guppy from Star Trek 3, I actually like that. And the Galileo 7 shuttlecraft from classic Star Trek. So All right.
Think
Question.
you're enjoying
Does-
this?
Is everybody in a situation where you can go in 30 seconds to a minute and grab two off-screen unusual props?
Oh,
Mm.
yes, of course.
All
Who am
right.
I kidding?
Take the next 60 seconds to go find two unusual items which are going to be
Fun.
used in a skit by holding them up to the camera. Okay. We're going to do Infomercial, which is basically that these props are all going to be, if we were doing a live show, these would all be in a box in front of the two people that are about to host an infomercial. We're going to give them a topic that all of these items somehow relate to. In the past, we've done things like personal grooming, pet training, clearing clogs out of your drains, all these kinds of things that these products somehow have something to do with in some capacity. What we're going to do is not only the two people that are going to be in the skit, but everybody else is going to one at a time, and I'll just use the bell as an example. We will hold them up to the camera, Vanna White style, so that hopefully the camera will actually pick it up and it's not going to be a blue screen colored thing that is going to melt into the background. So just move it around so that
Well,
hopefully-
no, don't move it around.
Don't
Hold
move
it
it
in
around.
front of your face.
Hold it right in front of your face. That yeah, because if you move it out to the side, you can see what's happening here. So hold it in front of your face so the camera gets a good look at it. And somehow the two people that we are going to select will have to incorporate that into their infomercial patter. Dave, you've always done really good at this, but let's pick Jeff as the second person. So the two of you are basically going to be hosting a late night infomercial on cable television, trying to promote all these different products that are going to help with the following topic. Chuck, give us a topic that they would be selling products for.
Home improvement.
Okay? We can work with that.
Specific.
Remodeling your kitchen.
Okay, both of them are nodding. I think we can work with that. So I am going to call out the names of the people so that we do this in the order in which that I see things on the screen. That is going to be in the following: Jeff, Scott, Chuck, Armand, Dave, and we'll finish with Becky. We'll have you do one item. We'll move on to the next person. After we've gone through all six, we'll come back and do Jeff through Becky a second time with their second item that they have. So Jeff, obviously you're one of the people that's actually giving the infomercial, but you're also the first person to raise something up. So begin the infomercial with you two guys, and when you feel a moment coming up, lift that up into the camera range so that we can see what you're talking about.
You know, Dave,
What, Jeff?
my kitchen just isn't as exciting as it used to be. I'm just kind of, I don't know, bored with the whole stove, refrigerator, oven thing, you know? I think it's time to liven it up. What do you think?
I think you should get dancing girls to go through. That'd liven the place up.
Yes, it would, but I don't know if my wife would like that. Is there some
right.
other way we could do that?
Well, maybe we should remodel your kitchen.
That's a great idea. And you know what I'm going to do first?
What?
First thing I have to do when remodeling is you have to clear all the stuff out. Now, one of the things I need to clear out that's been running through my kitchen all the time is this bunny rabbit with no rabbit's feet. If you notice, this is the unluckiest rabbit you'll ever see. Not a single rabbit's foot. So first thing I have to do is get rid of these, which is going to be not that hard. Watch. Gone. Like
That's good.
magic.
The kitchen looks better already.
Yes, it does. Or another thing we could do is just maybe burn the whole thing down.
Oh,
What do you think about that idea?
well, you know, people have problems buying gas stoves and people don't like electric stoves. Sometimes a simple butane stove is all you need.
You know what? That would be great. Maybe we could start a small fire there. And then we could You know, I'm thinking maybe we could like bedazzle it, because I think we should bedazzle the kitchen. Nobody
Well, I
bedazzles.
would be dazzled by anything you do, Jeff.
Ooh.
But enough about those sordid details.
Whoa.
That was a cutting remark.
Yes, indeed. But you know, you need a sharp knife or a buzzsaw of some kind to get out the old furniture fixtures. And sometimes a flaming sword can get that job done in half the time.
You know, the cabinets do need to go. The cabinets need to go.
That's right.
You know?
Plus, they can be kindling lit by the butane to light your stove.
Yes! Oh my goodness, you're on top of everything this time.
I know, but not the cabinet. We've already taken it apart.
We'll talk it out with the rabbit.
Oh, yes. But you know, one thing that I have always found helpful
Yeah.
in reorganizing my kitchen is
Oh,
rubber chicken.
a rubber chicken. You know what that's really good for?
What?
Well, if you have to get something from across the road, you can use the chicken, because then we'll know why the chicken crossed the road to help us out with all the other stuff over there.
And if you've got a bone to pick with people, you can reach inside and take out the bones.
Oh.
Oh, I wish I had thought of that. Yes. Oh, and you know what else is a good idea to have when you're doing one of these things is
What's
I think
that?
you should, maybe we should make it into a party.
Absolutely, because getting this done is indeed a celebratory affair.
Now, I know that things like this can take a while. I'm just hoping we can get it done before Christmas.
That's right, and we got to get it done quickly before the weather changes, because you wouldn't want it to rain, dear.
We certainly got this themed out, don't we?
Well, you know, you don't have to ask Santa Claus to get your kitchen done, because you can do this all by yourself with the right tools at the right price. Isn't that right, Jeff?
That is right. Now, part of the right tools involves
Oh,
an easy pass. We have to get in. There's a way we can just like easy pass our way straight into that new kitchen.
That's right. We're not going to let a little thing like turnpike tolls get in our way. We're
No.
going to get to the lumber shop and
And the hardware store. We've got to get to the hardware store. You know, these things can take a toll.
that's right. And
Yes.
and
You know,
no matter how grouchy or groucho your parents are, they will love your work. In fact, you'll get some high marks from all members of the family. And
oh,
but
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so.
a lot of people think, you know, Jeff, a lot of people think that, you know, renovating your kitchen is a piece of cake.
I have heard that.
But it's not. It's actually much harder than that. It's a whole cake, in fact.
Oh. You've come prepared.
Ah, yes, indeed.
You're just the icing on the cake for me.
Indeed. Indeed.
You sweet thing. You know, that's what I like about you. You've got layers. You've got layers. But I'm thinking we should take it slow. We don't want to rush into these things. We need to take our time doing something like to get it right. So something slow, something almost sloth-like, I think is what's needed to really focus in on the important things.
And you are very, very right. But now that we've gotten our kitchen renovated, there's only one thing left to do now, and that is to get hammered. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
I do have one game that I had written down on the possibilities that we've not actually tried before, but let me give you the description and you guys can tell me whether you think that this would work. This is one that other groups online are doing. It's called either Spoon River or, just to mock that title, Goon River. It's basically 4 characters that are all connected to each other through some incident that has happened. We'll get a suggestion for what the incident is in just a moment. But they don't actually interact with each other. They each step forward to the camera and give a monologue of what their experience in the incident was. And so the people that are second, third, and fourth in line have to kind of build on what the first person did. We usually will then have an opportunity to come back and visit each of the 4 people a second time so they can further elaborate. The idea with the versions that I've seen online is that you don't take too long. It's basically you just step forward like you're in a stage play and give a monologue to the audience for just a couple of minutes about your experiences in the incident that has occurred. Does that sound like something anybody wants to try, or shall we move to something more tried and true?
That can't hurt to give things a
Okay.
try.
Yeah, I'm
going to pick all 4 of you guys then and do that. So what we need is basically the other variation on this game is also referred to as the afterlife, in which all 4 of them have died in some particular way, and they all have to refer back to what happened to have that happen. I don't know if you want to go that dark or whether you want to just stick with just a traditional. You want to go? Chuck is nodding. Yes.
I'm in a graveyard.
That's true. And it is October, so there we go. All right, so we're gonna do Goon River, the afterlife. So all 4 of you died in some tragic way together. You don't get to confer with each other. One of you is going to step forward and begin the story talking about your experiences when this happened, and leaving enough open-ended stuff that the other 3, when they get their turn, can add on to that, elaborate on it, perhaps throw blame back and forth. So what we need, and this time it might be better to have either Becky or I come up with something so one of you doesn't influence it. Becky, we need an unusual situation in which these people would have died. Can you give us a suggestion to start with?
Well, do they need to hear it or do they need to not hear it?
Yes, they do. Because they have to take that suggestion and then go off on whatever tangents they're going to go off on.
Do I have to be specific or just kind of general?
General would be better.
Okay. So they all died in an accident at the chocolate factory.
All right. So you've got an accident at the chocolate factory in which there were 4 sad victims, and you're all in the afterlife, and you're stepping to the front of the stage to tell us in the audience what your experience actually was. Let's start, based on the way that you are on my screen, for the recording purposes. Jeff, you're at the top of the screen, so let's have you launch this for us.
I can't believe it. I am covered in white chocolate. I like dark chocolate. I want dark chocolate. And I had to go in white chocolate? Oh, this is just an insult. I can't believe this. And how did this happen? How? All I know is that there was a loud banging and then there was chocolate everywhere. I don't even know what happened. I can't figure this one out.
Chuck.
This is the afterlife. Is it paradise? Am I walking through fields with beautiful flowers and wonderful people? I'm in the chocolate factory. Am I in the chocolate factory for eternity? For eternity with those other 3? Someone has to pay for this tragedy that has befallen me.
Armand.
Well, here I am. You know, the pearly gates are a sight to behold, but despite the fact that it was arguably a sweet way to go, I really told Jeff to stay away from the white chocolate fountain and that he wasn't really an Oompa Loompa, but he didn't listen. And next thing I know, he turned a lever or some knob and there was a banging noise, and the next thing I know, fade to white. instead of black because it was white chocolate.
Dave.
Singing. The singing. He just kept singing and singing and singing, and the boat went faster and faster and faster, and I lost my balance, and I knocked him in, and then he grabbed me, and we both went. Why will the torture ever stop? Will the torture ever stop?
Jeff.
You know, I know there was a switch there to switch it from white chocolate to dark chocolate. Once I could hit that switch, I knew it, but no. Chuck decided he didn't want me to change it. So what did he do? He throws nuts at me. That's right. He throws his nuts at me. And the next thing, I'm falling over and the chocolate's everywhere. The chocolate's everywhere. And macadamia nuts. Oh, the humanity.
Jeff is a jackass. It wasn't my fault. I blame Dave. Dave thinks he can operate anything. He thinks he can figure anything out. And he said, oh, I can figure this switch out. No problem. And the next thing I know, we're covered in chocolate. We're poltergeists. And I'm never going to get out of this chocolate factory.
Armand.
On reflection, maybe it wasn't all Jeff's fault, because Dave went on that boat ride, and maybe the boat was responsible for the lever being thrown. I'm not sure. I do remember feeling a nut bounce off of my head, but I'm not sure where that came from. Well, oh well. C'est la vie. Well, or not the vie.
Dave.
Now I remember, it was Armand. Yes, he held out what I thought was a lever to me, and he said, hey, give me a break. And I grabbed it. And it wasn't a lever, it was a Kit Kat bar. And when that snapped, suddenly I got knocked off balance, which knocked Jeff off balance, which then knocked Chuck off balance, who then knocked Armand off balance, and we all went into the white chocolate river.
Everybody gets one final turn to come to terms with your afterlife. Jeff.
Well, I guess it could be worse. I mean, it is chocolate after all. I mean, yeah, it's white chocolate, and of all the chocolates, that's like the worst. But at least, thank goodness, it's not black licorice. Oh, at least it's not black licorice. I can live with that.
Well, look at it this way. I know Jeff doesn't like macadamia nuts, so I can spend eternity throwing them at him. And Dave, I can just drown him in chocolate all the time, and he won't die, so I have something to do every day. But what I really want to know is, why is Armand always so happy and so positive?
Can't hear you.
Why are you so happy all the time?
I couldn't hear you.
So, Armand, he was saying, why is Armand always so happy? So, Armand, your turn.
Well, the bright side is, we're not down there, and I was offered a lifetime supply or an unlifetime supply of Kit Kat bars. Unfortunately, they're the white kind, but I don't have to break off a piece for anybody. So, could be worse. I'm still happy.
Dave, bring it home.
When you think about it, it's not so bad. I mean, here in heaven, we're far, far past Mars, beyond the Milky Way. And if I left them all laughing, at least I can say we went out with some Snickers.
That was awesome, Dave.
Great product placement. We're gonna get paid a lot for that.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get a kickback from M&M.
I'm looking forward to my payday.
Here I am.
We'll make sure we hashtag them in that episode.
Yes.
Here I am.
Who knows? Maybe we'll even get $100,000.
Ah,
Oh.
Just a mound of cash.
Let's try another old favorite from Whose Line Is It Anyway? But everybody's going to recognize the description. It's basically 3 characters. One gets to say whatever they want. The other 2 are limited to 2 specific sentences only.
Mm,
2-line vocabulary.
yeah.
Thank you. 2-line vocabulary. I didn't write that down. So, the setting in this particular one is a ballpark during a crazy busy. This is pre-COVID days. A ballpark during a crazy busy game, and the manager of one of the fast food stands at the ballpark is trying to get his 2 new employees who have just barely gone through training to help him out with the vast crush of customers that are coming towards them as the halftime in the game is going on. So one of you is the manager. The other 2 are your 2 fast food stand employees. The manager, of course, gets to say whatever they want. The 2 fast food employees have the following 2 lines. First of all, let's pick Chuck. You are the manager. You get to say whatever you want. Armand, you are one of the 2 fast food employees. Here are your 2 lines. Ready?
Ready.
What do I do with this? When do I get to run the fryer?
Okay.
Dave, your 2 lines are, that can't be good. Who has to clean up after that?
Okay.
So both of you say your 2 lines just to make sure we're sure. Armand.
I'm sorry. The first one's what do I do with this?
Correct?
And when do I get to run the fryer?
And Dave?
That can't be good. Who has to clean up after that?
All right. So it's crush time at the fast food joint at the ballpark. Chuck, take it away.
all right, guys, it is commercial break, which means people are going to be coming here in hordes. We got to give them their hot dogs, their fries, their colas, their peanuts. Get your stuff, get your act together, and let's sell some food.
When do I get to run the fryer?
Right now. When do you want to run it? Like tomorrow when nobody's here? You want to run it right now. They're coming up the steps right now. They can go to Polish water ice if they wanted to right now.
That can't be good.
Dave, you're in charge of the hot dogs, okay? You're in charge of the hot dogs. Do you have the bun ready? Do you have the relish ready? Do you have the mustard ready? Do you have the dogs ready?
Who has to clean up after that?
You do, you moron. Now, come on, get it. Armand, there's 3 ladies over there. They're waiting for their sodas. What are you going to do? Come on.
What do I do with this?
You put a cup to the machine and you push a button. Then you put a straw in it and you give it to them.
Who has to clean up after that?
You! Your mother!
When do I get to run the fryer?
In 5 minutes, okay, Armand? In 5 minutes, I'll let you run the fryer. You can put Dave in the fryer if you want. I don't care. But we gotta sell some food here. Now, come on, get with the program.
Who has to clean up after this?
Dave, if you ask me that one more time, I'm putting you in the fryer.
What do I do with this?
You're going in after him, Armand.
When do I get to run the fryer?
Right now, Dave, jump in.
That can't be good.
You're damn right it can't be good. All I want you to do is sell some hot dogs. How hard is that?
When do I get to run the fryer?
Armand, you can go home now.
What do I do with this?
Dave, you can go home now. I'm going to hire Becca and Scott, okay?
Oh, who has to clean up after that?
Nobody. We're going to live in ketchup, okay?
What do I do with this?
Thank you, guys.
I quit.